Hi Leo, welcome to your mid-September 2018 tarot reading and astrology forecast. So first and foremost, thank you for all your likes and subscriptions. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to the channel. And we're going to be getting into a reading for you. So I've been talking to all the signs about the harvest moon on the 24th, 25th of September that is in Aries. And this full moon for you, Leo, is your ninth house of travel and expansion and higher mind and philosophy and thinking big. Okay? It's gonna be a pretty big awakening for you on some level. It might actually be in a philosophical way. You might suddenly see something from a higher perspective. You might be more in touch with your higher self. For you, I actually think this could be something more positive than for in terms of feeling, something more positive than the other signs are feeling. A lot of people are feeling quite agitated, quite anxious. I think the key word is adrenaline for a lot of people, and sometimes that can be an impulsive way of dealing with a situation that needn't have it. I also think it could be more to do with stress hormones for people, cortisol and things like that. It is a very intense full moon, but for you, I think it might actually be something that leads to a bit of an awakening, depending on the levels for that for the Leo, but it could be something short of that. Maybe not as intense as running away and joining a monastery or something, but I think it could be quite a big one. Renewed optimism might be something for some Leos as well. Okay, so let's get into the reading. The Two of Swords. The Nine of Swords. The Five of Wands. Judgment. Move this out of the way. And the moon. There's the moon right there, Leo. Okay. Yeah. Your dreams are telling you something. Judgment. And what's underneath? The King of Cups. Okay. So the moon, yep. Intuition, spirituality do all come to the fore for you with this full moon. And I actually think quite possibly, yes, you are having a higher awakening because of this full moon, but the lead up to it does seem to be just as stressful. Now, I say stressful, but I'm getting some sort of link with a Scorpio or a Pisces. Like a water sign is very prominent in this, could be a Cancer. But I said Scorpio first because of judgment in the challenge position and the moon as the outcome was Pisces. So Leo, I'm thinking you're at a bit of a crossroads here, or a bit of a deadlock. The Two of Swords to me sort of indicates that maybe you're wanting to progress things, but you're feeling in a state of flux. You're wanting to move forward, but you're not seeing the wood for the trees. You're feeling a little bit mentally trapped. I think some of you guys are having possibly nightmares, anxiety before sleeping, and your mind is possibly racing. As I said about that, anxiety releases the stress hormone cortisol. So I'm thinking maybe some of you are going through that, possibly late at night. Now, one thing that's very interestingly in your favor is the Five of Wands. That's in the helpful position, and you may be wondering, how on earth could the Five of Wands be helpful? Because it's about competition, bit of conflict, bit of mind games. But basically, when this is in your position, those areas are where you're coming out on top. Okay, I actually think in some circumstances competition is getting you to move forward instead of being stuck in this Two of Swords persona, getting back that playful fire sign competitive nature whereby you don't bow down to the competition. You just don't. You're going for things. Maybe you are wanting to make a very strong decision and it's not the right time. You're not getting this momentum forward. Now, interestingly, with the Judgment in this position, it is very similar to the Aries reading, which indicated to me that now is not the time to jump to conclusions. Things are going to be revealed with the moon, but it might not be absolutely everything that you need to see. It might not be all the answers come in at once. Do you know what I'm saying? With Judgment in the challenge position, it's kind of like you want to have this forward momentum, but you don't have all the answers yet. And your mind might be playing tricks on you. You might be seeing shadows move where there are none. You might be seeing fears in your sleep and assuming it's, what's going on in your day-to-day life, but it's not. It's your subconscious playing tricks on you because you're worried. You're worried about what you can't see. As I said, this is kind of an anxious full moon. But for you, it is leading to something. It is leading to answers, and it's leading to a higher perspective. It's leading to a shift in your emotional subconscious. Now, as much as I don't want to put the king here flat on his face, I'm going to draw 2 more cards to clarify the moon. Oh, the star. Beautiful. Oh, and the world. Wow, okay. Yes, higher awareness. This is such an amazing card for 9th house full moons. Perfect. Okay. Yes, getting back a spiritual awareness, getting back hope and optimism. Things coming full circle. You're headed towards something good, Leo, but you can't see it. I don't actually think there's any signs of it in your day-to-day life that you're acknowledging. I almost feel like your own mind has got you trapped and you can't see the wood for the trees. Something good's coming though. And you might be wondering, well, if something good's around the corner, why can't I see it? And I want you to think back to the time something really good happened. Did you see it coming? Probably not. The moon and the star, there's something very magical about the energy that comes on the tail of this full moon in Aries. It's almost something that I think could lead you to feeling on top of the world. It's almost like when you just let fate take the wheel in a situation that's stressing you out, and you just surrender to it and let go, things start to happen in a way that just seems to be almost magical for this. The moon, the star, and the world is like, it's it's a galaxy of beauty. It's such a night sky picture. When you wish upon a star, it makes no difference where you are, where in the world you are. Anything your heart desires will come to you. So I am seeing that there is great hope and great achievement on the other side of fear. There needs to be a trust here. And I'm thinking with the full moon being in your 9th house, it is almost like, for some of you, it's religious faith gets you through your anxiety. For some of you, it is maybe faith in the tarot. Maybe it is faith in astrology. Maybe it is faith in something bigger than you are. Maybe it's the law of attraction. It's the universe. The world in some decks is known as the universe. Maybe it's having hope that your desires are going to manifest, because it looks like they are. But as I said, it's on the other side of fear. Fortune favors the brave. You're not to jump to conclusions, Leo, as much as you want to. I am also seeing Aquarius here because of the star in the world. Now, the world, Leo, does have your sign in it. It's Leo, Aquarius, Taurus, and Scorpio. And those signs are all aspected here, particularly Scorpio, particularly Aquarius, and of course yourself. But Taurus could be in there. I don't see him or her, but take it at heed in this world card. I do feel like a water sign seems to be pretty significant though. This King of Cups, possibly kind of pivotal to your success. I want to mention that Venus is in Scorpio, and for you, Leo, that is your 4th house of home. And there could be some healing in family relationships here. I can't help but notice. I also think that maybe I'll get to this more in October, more in depth when Venus goes retrograde in that area. But for now, I feel a little bit like confronting your fears might lead to something great, or just trusting your intuition. When it is your intuition and not when it is just fear. People confuse that very often. You think when you're going to sleep at night and you suddenly have a really bad feeling that it's intuition. It's not, because you're actually in a safe environment. It's fear affecting you. Intuition is more of an immediate thing. So with this full moon, I do feel everyone's sort of prone to that energy. But you are, in some ways, in work possibly, Leo, you're really knocking the competition out of the park, is one way that I see this, with the World card as being a graduation, a success, a move up in the world, something brand new occurring, a new cycle for the better, success, triumph over adversity. The Star is more about wish fulfillment. The two combined is pretty spectacular. But as I say, they're on the other side of the moon. I think you could also be dealing with someone quite mysterious. Someone who doesn't give very much away. But you're possibly dealing with an attraction to a person that you've never had before, whereby you feel a very otherworldly connection, whereby you feel very attracted to them, like they're very special, they're one in a million, you know, like a star type personality. Some of you might be dating somebody famous. Some of you might actually be encountering fame of some kind. And that's what I sort of see with the Star in the world. It's like the stars aligning for you. I am seeing that sort of energy. Bear in mind that Mars is in Aquarius, the Aquarius card being the Star. And that can represent partnerships. So some of you might be meeting your life partner, particularly with the World card here. There's a very strong attraction, I think, coming in for a lot of you. That could be somebody new. Or it could be restored hope in a situation which kind of seemed hopeless. It's an incredible combination, those outcome cards, Leo. So I'm going to draw a Goddess Guidance card. Or 2. Maybe 3. See how we go. Okay, so interesting we got Mother Earth when we have the World card there. There's something very, very out of this world about this reading, Leo. Sensitivity with the Moon card. You're becoming increasingly sensitive. Avoid harsh relationships, environments, situations and chemicals. For some of you, there is a link to environmental awareness here, Leo. So some of you might be working to save the planet. Some of you might be involved in more charitable endeavors. I also see with boundaries here with Ishtar, you need to love yourself enough to say no. No to others' demands on your time and energy. This could be to do while you're feeling a little bit burnt out and a little bit anxious. Learning to say no to people with judgment. It's not making any snap decisions. It's approaching with unconditional love. With Mary Magdalene here. It's making sure that you are sensitive to your own needs and even the needs of others, but that you're protecting yourself and your mental health if you are going through this Nine of Swords moment. Because things are turning around for you, Leo, in a very, very amazing way. And it's almost like a lot of these fears were illusionary for some of you. And a lot of them were dealing with the fears that we've built up over the years and finally finding some sort of conclusion to your thought process, which is very important. It's important with worries and strife that we find a conclusion, we find a closure, and that looks exactly what you're headed to at the end of September, Leo, going into October. So I hope you enjoyed that reading, and I will see you guys in October.